But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I will put my law in their minds and write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Now here in that last chapter of Jeremiah 31, that's God speaking. That's God speaking and making a promise, and it is a prophecy that will come true. And it says in that last part, if we paid attention, it says that he will write his laws in our minds and in our hearts. And what laws are those? There's only one set of laws that God has given, and it has not changed even as Yeshua has come down to earth. It has not changed. Those set of laws have not changed. Even Yeshua himself says in John 14:15, if you love me, you will keep my commandments. And later in verse 21 it says, whoever has my commandments and keeps them, he is the one who loves me, and my Father will love him as well. And so there are many times in scriptures where we are reminded to keep God's commandments, that we have to keep all of them, that they're all still valid, we have to keep them, we have to keep all of them, we have to keep them, and it is part of Yeshua's testimony, of keeping his testimony as well, because even Yeshua kept all of God's commandments. And if you think that just because Yeshua came down to earth, and yes, now we have grace, we have a little bit more grace and mercy, we're not completely under the law, as in what was the punishment for breaking the law back in Moses' times? You break one of the commandments and the punishment is death. That is not the punishment anymore. Now we have a little bit more grace, but that doesn't mean that we are not to still keep all of God's commandments. If you are one of the ones who thinks that we don't have to keep them anymore, then ask yourself, is God a liar? Is he like man who makes false promises, who doesn't keep his word? Is he a liar? Or is Jesus not our Messiah? Because it's one or the other. Because how can God, the Almighty, the creator of heaven and earth, how can he make a statement, say, these are my laws, this is my covenant, and then later on, couple 100,000 years later, all of a sudden that changes? It just doesn't make any sense. If Yeshua is his son, he is going to do as his father did. He is going to do as his father says, and that is keeping God's commandments.